post-holiday show. We're your hosts, Mitch Bone and Tony Legale. Tony, how the heck are you doing, man?
Mitch, I'm doing great, doing fantastic. It's the weather outside is frightful, my friend. It's we've got about I don't know, looks like about a foot of snow piled up on these banks. Yeah, it was pretty crazy snowfall. We haven't had that in some time.
I think Mother Nature missed the memo. We all wanted a white Christmas, not a white week after Christmas.
Yeah, no, right when you're getting back into the swing of work and all those things. Now we got the elements to battle, so should be interesting, to say the least, especially since I spend the majority of my time on the interstate.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, that's got to be white knuckling it all the way.
Yeah, no, I'll be headed to Ekalaka this week, probably Wednesday, and hopefully I don't have to build a freaking igloo around there just to get around.
Yeah, hopefully not. I mean, if you do, we're at least pretty equipped with that here in Montana. We know how. Fair
enough. I agree.
Yeah.
How are you doing, my friend? How was your holiday? How was Christmas? Did you get everything that you requested from Santa?
I did. The one thing I requested is actually you're able to see it in this video. I got a new podcast mic.
And that thing is nice. As soon as you turned it on, I immediately noticed a difference.
Yeah. So
now you'll be able to hear that bravado of a voice.
Oh, yeah. Excuse me. Had a little coughing fit there.
You're just choked up. You're just choked up about the new mic, man. That's all.
Choked up about the new mic. No, so yeah, though, this is the one thing that I really wanted for Christmas, and it came, and it was awesome, and yeah, got a lot of other cool stuff too, but this was the big ticket that I wanted. So,
big time. Speaking of big tickets, are you doing this podcast live from Frisco?
I am not. No, I am actually shooting myself because I could have been doing it from Frisco. They had a media availability for people that obviously are in media, and I looked at it like a month ago and was like, do I sign up for this? Do I not? And I obviously didn't. I should have.
That would have been something because you had mentioned earlier that your brother is actually there, repping the colors.
Is there. Yes, so he's a student at MSU and a senior this year.
That's cool.
Hard to believe that, but yeah. So no, he is down there in Frisco right now, actually at the Cowboys game. Watching the Cowboys and the Commanders.
Watching a little Trey Lance show. Maybe he's here to stay. I hope he has a good outing. I haven't been watching the game. I watched the first couple drives though, and he looked like he belonged there for a sec.
Yeah, well, I don't know if Trey or if I don't know if he really does, but guess we'll see.
Yeah,
I think Dak Prescott's making too much money for them to move on.
Fair enough. Yeah, not a Dak guy, so.
Yeah. So. Also, I don't know what kind of game this is because on the other side, Marcus Mariota's playing. So
yeah, it's pretty much a let's sell some tickets and
Yeah, I mean, I guess with that, I don't know if Jaden Daniels started the game. He might have started the game, but
he did. Yeah, he did.
Okay,
yeah, which I thought was interesting because there was nothing to play for, but I saw him rush for a first down on 3rd and inches, and I'm like, what are we doing here?
Huh. Okay. Well, anyways, now Marcus Mariota's in. So.
And I did see, we have a bunch of those games in the NFL today. I did see that Josh Allen made his 115th, I want to say 151 or something like that, consecutive start. He literally played one snap, and they
bowed out.
Put in Trubisky against my Pats here. Well, I got a new team today, though, as you can notice here.
Yeah, and I'm not a big fan of that. I'm not going to lie. I came on the video, and I'm like, what the hell are you doing with that Broncos garbage on?
Well, it's all out of affirmation, actually, because I know how much you dislike Taylor Swift, for one, and the Chiefs. And I know today is a do-or-die game for the Denver Broncos, and I actually found this in my wife's closet. It was her father's. So
there you go.
Yeah, I rocked it today. I wouldn't rock it any other day. And then, of course, got the new squeaky clean Vegas Knights.
I did see that. You got to go down there.
It was incredible. Yeah, we Went to T-Mobile. Shelb had never been there before. Got the whole experience. Did the pregame, the DJ, and our seats were fantastic. Except my wife or Shelby bit into a piece of pizza. We were walking around the whole arena trying to find something to snack on, and we got these little personal pizzas or whatever. And she bit into a piece of pizza, and she was like, "I think someone's tooth is in my pizza."
Wait, what?
Yeah. I'm like, well, are you in pain? No. And she's like, but I think we're going to be season ticket holders if it's someone else's tooth. And but it turns out it was her tooth. She had
dang it.
Yeah, she had a root canal, so that she wasn't in any pain by any means, but she lost her crown. And so that's what she bit down on. And fortunately, because that was about 10 minutes before puck drop. So fortunately, it didn't cause any pain or damage, because that could have been a doozy.
That could have been
start to a game. Yeah.
So I want to circle back because you mentioned my hatred of all things Taylor Swift, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, so going back on Christmas, my brother, who I love dearly, he decided to get me a gag gift for Christmas, right?
Ooh, gag. Yeah.
As most brothers do, right? So this is what he gets me. A Taylor Swift calendar.
Well, at least when you run out of toilet paper, you got something to,
I mean, yeah. It was funny. He's like, you got to open this one first. So I did, and it got a good laugh.
See, Justin is alive in the chat. Justin, how you doing today? Good.
How's it going, Justin?
Heck yeah. Represent.
Is he on our Facebook?
I don't know. Yeah, just popped up, said, "Hey, Mitch," nothing, "Hey, Tony," or anything like that, which I don't blame him. I wouldn't want to talk to me either. No, but the T-Mobile was sick. It was, we had great seats. We sat center ice, so I'd never actually got to sit when I had season tickets in Arizona to the Coyotes. They were in the corner glass area because this is where they were, and you saw one end up close really well, and then the reflection of the boards actually made it a little difficult to see down to the other end of the ice. But we actually got to set center ice, like dead center, and got to see the whole game flow of an NHL game, and it was something special. There's those guys are freaks, man. Like Shelby's only used to watching beer league hockey and Jackson play, so she was in for a real treat, to say the least. So.
It's a little bit faster, isn't it?
It's a lot faster. She's like, they're so aware. They're just so aware.
Yeah.
And they really are. Yeah. It was an awesome experience, and we had a great trip to Vegas and stayed at the Link. Nice. Hadn't stayed there before, but very, very centrally located to everything kind of going on around there. So it was a great time. So that was my big Christmas gift.
That's awesome. I feel like I need to go to a hockey game because, like, I never used to be a big soccer fan. Mm-hmm. And then I went to a few games down in Salt Lake at Real Salt Lake.
Oh, yeah.
And I love soccer. Like,
oh, yeah, it's sick.
It's awesome. It's fun. It's fast paced. It's brutal, honestly. And I feel like I would get that same reaction if I went to a hockey game just because it's a game I didn't grow up with.
Mm-hmm.
And so I never really got into it as a kid like I did with football and baseball, but I feel like I would if I went to a game.
You'd love it. Yeah, it was, like I said, sitting center ice, getting to see the whole flow of each side. It was a real crisp game. I mean, not sloppy at all.
Awesome.
I mean, but yeah, you would love it. And speaking of that, because I obviously I love hockey, but I was watching a Cam Newton podcast, and did you hear what he had to say?
Hilarious.
Did you hear what he had to say about the game of baseball?
No, I didn't, but I want to hear this because he's hilarious.
He essentially, in the uttermost respectful way, basically said that baseball, he wouldn't be surprised if the WNBA was bigger than baseball in 20 years. And baseball is dying, is dead.
I don't know if I'd go that far. I will say it's not as big as football and basketball and college football even.
Yeah, but I mean, just the way, and I just thinking about it because the way that the NHL is growing, you know, they got their own kind of deal on Saturdays now, and big contracts with ESPN, and that game's really, really growing. So,
no, I mean, I do think it's not as prosperous as it was 20 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But to say it's flat out dying and it's going to be smaller than the WNBA, I don't know if we can go that far yet.
I don't either. It was a little absurd, but also on the other end, as someone who played baseball their entire life, man, I just feel like every single year the MLB is trying so hard to like make it more enjoyable to watch. It started with the pitch clock. I mean,
I will say though, and I think you and I have talked about this on this show, while the pitch clock and everything is awesome for the TV, going live, it sucks.
Yeah, it certainly speeds stuff up. I mean,
it speeds stuff up, but it almost speeds stuff up so fast that if you go to get food or go to get drinks or anything, you're missing 2 innings.
Yeah, maybe so. Yeah, no, I don't mind it too much because it's. I like the pace of the game. It seems like it should be what it is, and yeah, I like the pitch clock. I don't know what they could possibly do to enhance the game even more. I mean, these guys are phenomenal, obviously, and
yeah,
not sure, but
I'm not sure either. I mean, it does take a certain person to love baseball. I have to say that.
Oh yeah,
and in today's world of right now, it may be a little bit of a dying sport, but to say that it's going to be less popular than the WNBA, I just don't see that. But you do have like Caitlin Clark and all those in the WNBA now, so maybe. I could be wrong too. I don't know.
I don't know. I doubt it, but I don't know. We'll see. Especially if Ohtani keeps
breaking records, all of this is a moot point, and we're seeing the greatest baseball player ever, and I will put my foot in my mouth and say that.
100%. So we got a little bit of college football to talk about. Obviously, we're going to preview the Cats game. I want to hear about that from your perspective. You've been following them for many, many years, and this is pretty much the writings on the wall that they're going to remain a perfect team and hoist the cup, sort of thing.
That's the hope, and I think probably what's going to happen. I mean, North Dakota State is amazing. They have won like 10 FCS championships, so they are not a team to sneeze at by any means.
No. I like their quarterback.
Yeah, their quarterback is great, but I will say the teams that have won the national championship, this team that they have this year does not seem like one of those teams. They don't score as much. They let the other teams score a little bit more, but they still score enough to win. So I think the Bobcats do have it. I'm hoping. But yeah.
And I noticed they're not as big up front. I know last year the NDSU was massive up front.
Oh yeah. And they're always massive. They're always over 300 pounds. And that's the thing that the Bobcats have, really, they've narrowed the gap. It used to be like our O line and D line are like 260, 270, quite a bit smaller. Now we're getting those 280, 290 guys, couple 300s. So we're really narrowing that gap.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Should be an exciting one. Got a prediction on the score for me here? I mean, I don't know what award, just to touch on this real quick. I don't know what award Tommy has not won this year.
Defensive ones that he can't win.
That's true.
But yeah, no, he's won just about every single award you can win. He won the Walter Payton Award last night, which is the FCS Heisman for people that don't know.
Oh, wow. I did not know. I was going to ask you.
Yeah, no, it's basically the Heisman of the FCS.
Wow.
And so he won that last night, and very well deserved. Obviously everybody in Montana knows he's an amazing ball player. But beyond that, he's an amazing person. He takes time. He obviously does really well in school, but then he takes time to do stuff in the Bozeman community, and he's just an amazing human being on top of being an amazing ball player. And I think that's why everyone loves him so much. and yeah, super deserving of that. He won a couple other awards too that I can't remember right now. But yeah, I think he won like FCS Player of the Year, Big Sky Offensive Player of the Year.
Yeah,
a bunch of awards this year.
All of them.
He pretty much clean sweeped all of them.
And it's just kind of nice. It was more so kind of nice. Yeah, absolutely deserving. More so kind of nice to see him stay healthy. You know, I know that was a tough one last year at NDSU. Went out there and their season, you pretty much as they lost anyhow. But to think that they could have continued on without him, I don't know that would have happened.
Yeah, I will give the coaching and Tommy credit. They have kept him extremely healthy this year.
Mm-hmm.
He hasn't ran as much. He's shown his arm more, which I think is awesome. He did run a little bit more in the semifinal game, and there were a couple of times where he was a little slow to get up, and I was sitting there thinking, dear God, please get up. We need you.
Yeah.
And he did, because he's Butte tough and Montana tough, and obviously that's not going to knock him out. But yeah.
Where do you see him fitting into the NFL?
Ooh, see, this is a tough question because I would love to see him go on to the next level. I honestly could see him as a running back.
Yeah.
Maybe a quarterback. I mean, Kyler Murray's made it.
Well, I mean,
Tua's made it. And I know that they're injury prone a little bit, but
well, I think Tommy's probably he's probably bigger than Kyler, isn't he? Or are they about the same height?
Tommy is just at 6 foot.
He's at 6 foot. Okay.
So he's a little bit bigger, but not by a whole lot.
Yeah, I could see him fitting in as like a kick returner or like I don't know, maybe not kick returner. I don't know, but yeah, potentially like a role player. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he's got like a shot though.
Hill type thing.
Potentially, yeah. Oh, that would be a nice fit for him for sure.
Yeah.
Just got to get bigger.
Just about anything.
Yeah, no doubt.
Or I also, if the NFL doesn't work out, I think he could make a nice career for himself up in Canada.
Sure.
And I think he could be a quarterback there. No problem.
No problem. Yeah. CFL for sure. For sure. So you got a prediction on the score of that game? I mean, you like the Cats, obviously. I mean, is it going to be tight or is it like a 31-8 kind of thing?
So I don't think it's that much of a blowout. No.
Okay.
I could see 35-21.
Okay, 35-21. So you think they for sure put up that kind of those kind of?
I think the Bobcats put up that kind of points, and I do think that the Bison will score. I mean, the Bison are always going to be a prolific offense. They have Trey Lance's brother at wide receiver, who has I think like 15 or 16 touchdowns this year. So
wow.
They do have really good playmakers. I just think that their defense isn't quite what it's been in the past, and so I think they'll give up some points.
What time is that game tomorrow?
5 p.m.
5 p.m. on ESPN, I'm sure.
Yeah, I think it's on ESPN and maybe ABC, but definitely ESPN.
Sweet.
And the cool thing about it is 2 Montanans will be calling the game.
Very cool. Is who is it? Is it Riley Corcoran or?
No, so you have Brock Osweiler.
Oh yeah, nice. Okay.
And then Ryan Leaf.
Oh, Ryan Leaf, sweet.
Yep, they're both going to be calling the game.
Oh, cool.
I know Brock is going to be on TV doing it because he does it for ESPN. He called the semifinal game, actually.
Yep.
And then I think Ryan may be on radio because he does a lot of radio stuff. But
okay, very cool. Yep. What is the situation in the FCS shit show of a playoff here? What do we got going? What are we looking at?
The FBS, you mean?
Yeah, excuse me, FBS. Oh.
So they tried to actually kind of mimic what the FCS does with their 2014 now playoff system, where the FBS went to 12 this year, and in theory it was going to be awesome, but it's completely failed. I think. I mean, the first 4 teams are out. So you had Oregon, Georgia, Boise State, and Arizona State. They all lost.
Boy, Oregon got smoked, eh?
Oregon got smoked. Arizona State put up one hell of a fight. I will say.
Great. Yeah.
Like, that was one amazing game to watch. And then Boise State, they literally shut down Genty. Penn State did, and if you shut down Genty, they had some other weapons, but they just didn't have enough. Right. And then the Georgia game, I have to admit, I didn't watch that game. You did.
I did. Yeah, I was going for. I think it's great. I mean, I will say this: I think it's great for college football that we're watching. We don't have to watch Georgia or Alabama in the national championship this year.
Right? No, I will say that's awesome. I just think so. Like, I'm going to take Oregon for example because everyone knows I'm a huge Oregon fan.
Right.
So they get the number 1 seed, undefeated throughout. Right. You would think that would get them an easier matchup in the playoffs, right?
Mm-hmm.
First game's Ohio State. Had they won that game, Texas in Texas. How the hell is that fair?
Yeah, that's a tough one. I mean, is this Texas team the real? I mean, they got Ohio State. I mean, that's going to be probably the best game, correct? I mean,
probably, honestly, and I hope to God Texas wins it.
Same, that'd be fun.
Yeah. I hope they do, and I hope Arch Manning comes out and wins it because that would be awesome.
What is his role on the team? I haven't really been following.
He's the backup quarterback.
He's just the backup. Okay, because the kid they got in there now is he's a stud, isn't he?
He's pretty good, and he's a senior. So why put Archie Manning in?
Right. Yeah. Well, then you got Notre Dame at Penn State, huh?
That's going to be a juggernaut too. I mean,
is Penn State the real deal?
I don't know if they are. I mean, the thing about both Penn State and Ohio State is up until last week, no one knew if they could win a big game.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Ohio State lost to Michigan and Oregon in the regular season. Mm-hmm. And then Penn State lost to Oregon in the Big Ten championship game. So no one knew if they could win a big game, but obviously they won them in the playoffs. And I don't know, they could be for real. I will say Penn State has one wide receiver. I can't remember his name, but he is fast. Ridiculously fast, and blew past Boise State.
So we have a couple games, I believe, correct? For the division. So this Seattle Seahawks game, not to totally jump ship here, but the Seahawks game against the Rams are the Seahawks out of contention for the playoffs?
They're out now. They lost last week because I think the Rams won last week, so I think that they're out.
Okay. So yeah, even if they beat the Rams and that works out, then okay. But you do have do have one little playoff game with you need the Broncos to beat the Chiefs today. That's why I got the hoodie.
Yeah. No, we need the Chiefs to lose every week, but especially this week.
They're going to win the Super Bowl again, probably, aren't they?
It's inevitable, honestly. Yeah. Yep, honestly. I don't know any teams that are even close.
No.
So, yeah, I don't know any teams that are even close. So I honestly think they're going to completely bulldoze their way in. I don't even think, if Detroit makes it, I don't think Detroit's close to them.
Yeah, no. Really? You think that Kansas City is that big of a powerhouse?
I hate to say this, being a Raiders fan, but yes.
I'm rooting for Detroit for sure. Love to see.
I'm rooting for Detroit too, but it kind of feels like a David and Goliath situation, and it just no.
Love it. Yeah, well, certainly we have some exciting NFL. This next week actually will be, a lot of build up for the NFL and a lot of great college football games, no doubt. And then, of course, tonight I do want to mention at 7:30 the United States World Juniors. In the World Juniors tournament, United States plays Finland for the gold medal.
Let's go.
Yeah.
So let's touch on that a little bit, because is that the same tournament where Canada lost?
That is the same tournament where Canada lost to the Czech, and then they lost to they got stunned by Latvia. Apparently, Latvia's goalie was phenomenal throughout the entire tournament. Now the U.S. beat them 4-1. That U.S. team, they had they got 10 guys returning from their championship team last year. They got a great team. Obviously, all studs, all NHL bound guys, and pretty much everybody in the tournament for the most part. But I didn't watch it close enough. I know the big hype for Canada was Jared McKenna. He's kind of their. It's kind of supposed to be the next big thing, Bedard style. Yeah. So yeah, it was kind of fun to watch him play, and But USA playing Finland tonight, who they lost to back-to-back years thus far.
Wow.
So we'll see tonight at 7:30. Only available on NHL Network, which sucks because now I got to get Fubo.
Of course. Hey, you're just gonna have it for the baseball season when the Mariners are on.
Well, that's what I figured. If I got Fubo for, because I won't need Red Zone anymore on YouTube TV, which is why I got it. But I don't know. Fubo just got so expensive in the summertime. It was like $120 or something.
Oh, I know. It's insane. I don't get it for that reason. I just don't watch the Mariners.
Yeah. Now it's 70. I think we got it for $79 and get NHL Network. And now we'll get all the Knights games because I haven't been able to watch. I've watched maybe 2 Knights games on TV because they're all, well, they're blacked out on ESPN Plus. Yeah, they really are. So last year they weren't, which was really nice. But this year they got kind of an exclusive deal with Fubo, and then plus MTN Sports
carries a lot of them.
Carries all of them actually. Every home team. So if you just have standard cable, you'd be able to get every single Knights game, which is great because when the Knights first popped out in this region, they were blacked out on every demographic. So.
I think we have a certain Justin Hutchinson to thank for that one.
Yeah, that is true.
He's a huge Knights fan that has a lot of pull here.
Yes, he does. So
awesome. Well, cool. Yeah, I don't really know what else is going on. Really, I mean, it's kind of just been bull crazy, and there's a lot of meaningless bulls in the middle of the CFP. But
for sure. Yeah, no, I've just been following this tournament a little bit. Championships tonight. Obviously, been watching a little bit of the NHL. Nathan McKinnon sits on top with 65 points, leading the NHL, and right behind him is Leon Draisaitl, I believe, with 59 points. So
nice.
Yeah.
How's that new Utah team looking?
They're a great team. They're just, they remind me a lot of the Kraken. Just they're very solid all throughout. No, I mean, but they're competitive. Shoot,
yeah.
I don't know what team isn't anymore now that even the San Jose Sharks supposed to be brutal. They got Macklin Celebrini, who has been outstanding for them this year. He will most likely win the Rookie of the Year. But he's really taken their team and their organization to a whole nother level. The Sharks last 2 games, they played the Lightning, which is a top tier team. And then they played the Devils yesterday and beat them in regulation on both games. So not bad. Good news for the Shark Tank.
That's awesome. No, I love hearing when lower tier teams get to have a little bit of success, even if it's not like a ton, just a little bit.
Oh yeah, no, and this kid's great. Yeah, he's a stud. So good look for those guys. So
that's awesome. That's awesome. Well, I guess that's kind of our show today. We don't really have a whole lot. It's kind of
go Cats go
down season, but it's a little bit down season.
And a little bit of a taste today on the playoff game. Hoping to Bo Nix. I'm happy that Denver puts up so many points. Kind of rooting for Bo Nix. I like he's a gamer for sure. And Mahomes got him earlier in the year, and should be fun.
I have to say, being a huge Raiders fan, it kind of kills me because there's a lot of Broncos players that I like.
Yeah.
I love Bo Nix from him in his Oregon days, and then of course Alex Singleton when he was a Bobcat.
Heck yeah. Well,
and it's like, why do you have to go to the Broncos? Could you go to any other team in the NFL?
Yeah, well, it'll be interesting. I hope that they lay it on them. They always make those games pretty competitive. So
they do. Those AFC West games, it doesn't matter who you're playing, they're always tough. The Raiders always give the Chiefs a little bit of a problem too. So
yeah, definitely.
That the division games are always tough in the NFL.
Should be a good one and a taste of the playoffs because playoff season is here, thankfully.
It is. Hey, while we're here, how did your fantasy team end up? I know it was not great at one point. How did it end up?
Hey, I gotta say, so I'm in the one league that I've been in for 9 years here. I believe, 10 years, I think. The longest standing league. That's the first year I haven't made the playoffs in fantasy football in that league. So kudos to that. Was a pretty aggressive league, and my guys just didn't really pan out, and I don't know nobody really went off like I needed them to.
Yeah.
Still a good team, competitive. I think I was 6-8 in that league. Well, something like that, 6-8. And however, my brother's league. So I had won 5 games in a row. So I played Lonnie, my sister, to get in, and her team was projected to win. I was underdog every single week.
Nice.
Beat her to, we were tied for that last playoff spot. Beat her to get into the playoffs. Then went on to beat the 3 seed, the 1 seed, and the 2 seed. I believe the 4 seed or something like that. But won the championship. The league champ, so that was amazing. Malik Neighbors, Derrick Henry, Jared Goff, Amon-Ra St. Brown, they just went off for me the last in the playoffs. So nice. It was a good way to end because I couldn't believe that I just liked my teams and my this year, but they finally did something, and everything kind of also fell into place. Like Kenneth Walker goes out. I've had Zach Charbonnet on the bench the whole entire year, and he finally gets to step up and make a chance. And he went off that week, which got me into the playoffs. And then, Nick Chubb finally gets done. Finally gets out. So Jerome Ford gets the show. I've had Jerome Ford all year. So just
you were high on him like from the beginning.
I was, and then he I don't know, that Deshaun Watson flavor was just a bad look on the
dysfunctional team. I don't know how they figure out to always be dysfunctional.
I know,
but they do.
So, but super pumped. Jared Goff was probably my best pick of the year. I got him super late. I know we talked about that from a value standpoint, but figured, they're going to be a top tier offense, and they sure enough are. And figured, well, he's going to be a part of that. And it was probably my best pick was Jared Goff.
Well, that's awesome, man. I just wanted to ask how that went. I didn't play fantasy this year. I should have, and definitely will be next year.
Heck yeah. Well, it's been a great show here, and happy we were able to do this. I'm on the road starting tomorrow, so I'll be traveling for work here, and we'll got to grind it out. My plan is to grind it out till Stanley Cup time, and then gonna try to go check out a Stanley Cup game in Vegas for sure.
Heck yeah. Well, join us next time. We will give you a post national championship recap, and hopefully it'll be of our Bobcats winning a championship.
Love it. Go Cats, go.
Go Cats, go. All right. Have a great day, everyone, and thanks so much for listening. There we go.
Love it.